Hey, what's going on, guys? I got a good one for you. Many have asked me, how do you implement these modes or these arpeggio things or whatever they're called inside of a groove or inside of your everyday playing? So I'm here to show you how. Here we go. So as you guys can see, that was a pretty simple concept, just using a couple of arpeggios, nothing really in between, just kind of staying on the one. But I'll show you real quickly exactly what I did. Just really basics, going back to the basics and trying to implement them inside of a groove or inside of a beat or whatever, whatever you're playing to, just trying to be able to make this stuff realistic. All right. So when we talked about the modes before, if you haven't seen the modes, suggest you go take a look at that. I talk about arpeggios, the mode arpeggios. I talked about different exercises you can do with the modes as well. But anyway, this is being taken from that. So the key is in, I use like a A minor mostly, or Aeolian, right? So like I stay in an Aeolian mode. So I'm staying right in here. This is my one here. So because that's my Aeolian mode, the A, technically I can be in C major as well, right? That fits right inside of my modes. My Ionian scale will be C major and my Aeolian will be A minor, right? So if you notice, that's the relative major of A minor. So this is the scale that I'm using. All right, so I can technically be, because there's no sharps or flats in A minor or the Aeolian scale, so A, B, C, D, E, F, G, A. In the key of C, there's no sharps or flats either. So same key signature. All right, so you want to think about it like that first. So this is the way I'm approaching this type of groove. And people ask me, how do I solo over a minor groove as well? Or how do I kind of implement that mode technique inside of a minor groove as well? But this is a way that you can do that. So what I'm doing is I'm taking the Dorian arpeggio. And like I said, if what I'm saying to you is unfamiliar, go check out the modes. I don't have time right now to go over that completely, but if you take a look at that, you'll be so much more caught up and you'll understand exactly what I'm saying right now. So I'll use the Dorian mode first to start off the groove, and then the Phrygian mode. All right. So what I'm doing, I'm taking the arpeggio from both the Dorian and the Phrygian mode. So what I'm doing is I'm descending the Dorian scale. Right. So I'm descending the Dorian scale, not the Dorian scale, sorry, the Dorian arpeggio, because that's what it would be. The scale, the original scale is the Dorian. That would be the scale. So the arpeggio will be the first, third, fifth, seventh note of that scale. So I'm descending it, starting on the top note, right? Then I'm going up to the Phrygian scale and I'm ascending that, right? And that was actually one of the exercises that we did using the modes, using the arpeggios of the modes. But anyway, so it would bop, bop. All right, slow. If you want to take it slow, go ahead. That's fine. So that's the first part. If you know me, I like to loop things over and over just to be able to get them and burn them in my brain, especially when I'm first learning a groove or an exercise or a scale, doesn't matter. I like to loop things over and over again. You probably tell in some of my speaking too, I like to be repetitive. But anyway, that's just to make sure you guys can get it as well. So those are the first two arpeggios I'm starting off with. The Dorian arpeggio descending and the Phrygian arpeggio ascending. So after I'm done with those two arpeggios, I actually play C to C sharp, right? So I know it's a little bit outside of the box, but just to bring this thing around, I play the major third of A instead of the minor third of A. That's just like an exception to the rule. Just is what I'm actually feeling. It fit for me at the time. So I'm putting it in there. Some things you play and some things you do is not actually going to be technically correct all the time. So don't make it seem like it has to be, but it's more so like a passing note. Think of it like that. So this is what I mean. Right. So I do play the minor third, which is which is C from A. All right. So the minor third of that A minor scale is C. So I do play that, but I play the C sharp right after that. And then I go up to the A. I'm back home to my minor, right? To my minor root. So I step outside of it just for a second, and then I come back in, right? So just hear how cool that sounds. I mean, I could play it like that too and stick with the minor third, but for some reason, I guess that's like one of my trademark moves. I like doing that. I know. But anyway, so believe it or not, we're almost finished with the groove. Like I said, it was just a series of arpeggios, and then in the middle of it, just kind of staying on the one, and I'll show you that in a minute. So arpeggios, if you're having trouble or struggling with the arpeggios, I suggest you slow that down. Do this whole entire thing, this whole entire exercise slash groove with the metronome anyway, regardless of what you're practicing. Do it with the metronome. Practice that part. Practice the two arpeggios going back and forth from the Dorian descending to the Phrygian. The Phrygian arpeggio going back and forth between that in time. Forward. Afterwards, add in the other notes. And just practice like that. Just loop it over and over again. Trust me, it'll help out. It'll make your playing so much easier. All right, so after that, in the beginning, all I did was I just did a couple of chromatic notes up to A. So from G to A, G sharp, A, and the octave. The same exact thing. I think I switched it around, but that's up to you. That middle part I kind of left open so you guys can kind of have free range to what you want to do inside of that. You know, you're not tied down to anything. I want you to have that as your creative process. Inside of that, be able to create some type of bass line or anything in between that deals with the minor scale or deals with the Aeolian scale. So try that out and see what you come up with. That'll be really interesting to see what you guys can come up with that inside of that groove. But anyway, the meat of that groove is the arpeggios. I want you to stay with the arpeggios. That's really the main source of this exercise to be able to implement these modal exercises. But anyway, so you can do whatever you want in between there, but I just went up from the G to the A. Oh, I didn't even say the fingering of that. It's pretty simple too. If you know the fingering of the modes, I mean, you can't really go wrong from there. Or the arpeggios of the modes. So have 1, 3, 4, 1, 1, 4, 3, 1. And then I'm doing 1, 2, 3. All right, you got that? All right, guys, so I hope this helped someone. Didn't want to be too long today. You can be quick and effective as well at the same time. So make sure you're practicing the right thing and being productive with your practice routine. So if you're new here and haven't subscribed yet, I'll put a link up here just to make it easier for you to go ahead and click that to subscribe. Also a link here to the website, daricbennett.com, where you can get access to more lessons like this. Come join the Bass Nation community. It's a risk-free 3-day trial. Try it out and see how you like it. We'd love to see you over there. But anyway, make sure your notes are coming out clean, clear, and precise. And until next time, see you.